Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is your pal, Steve Brown, and catch Dave and Ty on NEZ SEZ every Thursday night on YouTube. Crank it up.
Hey everybody, we're live. It's Sunday, August 23rd, and it's the Sunday edition of NEZ SEZ. Welcome to NEZ SEZ, everybody. This is a place where musicians can come together and inspire each other to play more guitar. My name, of course, is David Nesdahl. How's everyone doing? Just waiting for some people to get here. I got some cool guitars to show today. It won't be a very long show, but we'll get it done and say hello to each other. Maybe you guys will have some questions for me, and I'll answer them, and we'll have a good Sunday together. Anyway, if you're here, say hello so I can see who's here. Got 4 people watching at the moment, but I guess they're being a little quiet. Say hello to me. And while I'm waiting for people to say hello, hey, Hand 36 Solo, how are you? Good morning. Where are you hailing from? Hi, Janice. Nice to see you. Well, anyway, nice of both of you to be here. It says I have 2 more people here so far. I know I chose a really weird part of the day, only because I have plans this evening and I won't be able to do it at my normal time. So we'll do with what we have. And if people want to see me and join in, that will be great. Ah, no wonder. Okay, no wonder it's morning for you. Yeah, it's what, 10:18 in the morning? Sorry about that, Hand Solo. Hand 36 Solo. Sorry about that. Janice is here on the East Coast, so it is 1:18 where she is and where I am. Anyway, today's episode is going to be about signature series guitars and replica guitars. I've got 6 guitars to show today, and you've seen them all from one time or another, but I'll talk about them a little bit. Actually, you've all probably seen every one of my guitars from at one point or another. So, tell me what you guys are doing today before I start getting into this. What are you guys and girls doing today? Hey, Ed Dana, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon. Nice to see you. Just to let you boys and girls know, I have a cool new feature, and it's the Super Chat. If you want to send a little donation here and there, if you like what you see, there should be a little $ next to the little face where it says "Say something" in the chat. You can send as much or as little as you like if you wish to. This is not mandatory, but if you want to get your comment read quickly, you can hit that Super Chat and send some funds, whatever you can afford, and that's a cool thing, and I really appreciate that, and I also appreciate if you can't do it. That's fine too. Just letting you know that it's there. So Janice Lala says she spent the whole morning looking for a dog. Oh my God, did you find your dog? Hand 36 Solo says he's setting up his studio after I mow the lawn. Ah, okay. Well, yeah, Sunday's the lawn day, I suppose. Ours is on Saturday. Ed Dana says he's watching YouTube. Very cool. Very cool. Well, now you're watching me on YouTube, I think. 6 people here. If you haven't said hello yet, please say hello. Yeah, the dog is a pain, huh? Well, at least you found the dog. Is it a boy or a girl? I've got 2 dogs, and they're both girls. They're both elderly dogs. My lab is 13, and my Chihuahua is 12. But they are the coolest. They still they act like they're young. Hi, Stan. How are you? Stan, I was just talking about. Oh, it's a Boy Chow Husky mix. Wow, that's got to be beautiful. I was just saying how I'm going to be showing some guitars here, signature models and replicas. You've all seen them, but I'll talk about them a little bit. I was just saying I have a new cool feature. Maybe it's not cool for you guys, but it's cool for me. It's the super chat. If you guys have anything you want read real quick, you can click that $ next to where you type and put in as much or as little as you like, and I'll get to your questions right away. Or if you just feel like being kind, anything that you want to do, you don't have to do anything either. Just want to put it out there. Adana says, I have sunshine out my front window and thunder out the back window. Very weird. That is weird. But I have seen thunderstorms where the sun is shining brightly. It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to start this. And the first guitar I'm going to show is my Music Man Luke guitar. This is the Luke 3. I think it came out in like 2014 or so, somewhere around there. It's the Bodie blue color, and it's got DiMarzio transition pickups in it, and it's got a Music Man bridge on it, 5-way switch, and it's got a cool feature on it that it's if you push the volume knob, it's a boost for leads, and if you push it down again, it's a push. If you push it once, it's boosted for leads. If you push it down, if you push it up again, it's the boost goes away, and it's just a regular humbucker. So it has a battery in it. I believe the boost is, I really don't remember. I think it's like 10 dB. I think. So it's a lot. This is also a Ball Family Reserve. It's really beautiful neck on this guitar. Nicely bird's-eyed. Rosewood fretboard. It's got small frets. It's great. This guitar is just another one that just flutters like crazy. It stays in tune really well with just locking tuning pegs on it. I believe this is an alder body. It's either alder or basswood. Can't remember. I'm sorry. The L3s, basically it's a Luke. They were Lukes, then Luke 2s, and then they made an L3, and now they make an L4. But when they went to the L3, they decided, and Steve Lukather decided to make the body 3% larger, bigger. I know it doesn't look like a very big body, but this is definitely bigger than the old ones. And I think the Luke 4s are even bigger than this a little bit. But for a small guitar, it's a nice size. A little bit bigger than the Van Halen, I think. Hi, Michael Collins. He says, hey, David, how are you guys doing? Is your thumb on the mend? Well, my thumb is not on the mend. It's gotten a little worse. I'm going to a hand surgeon on September 8th, and we're going to talk about whatever we can do to fix it. It might be partial amputation. It might be full amputation. I don't know. I'm worried about it. I'm nervous. But we're going to get it taken care of finally. Hi, Frank Camerano. You always want... Well, you know, these things are great. You can find them everywhere. Thank you, Hand 36 Solo. I appreciate it. You know, it's time for me to take control of that thumb, because all of my doctors that I've talked to up till now, and it's been 2 years, have said, leave it alone, it'll fall off. You don't want an open wound where your fistula is for my dialysis, because the blood won't. There's not enough blood flow to my hand. But now it's gotten so bad that it's starting to get a little infected. I'm on antibiotics now, so the infection is going away, but it'll always come back. I need to get it taken care of, so that's what I need to do. Stan M says, hey Dave, ordered some parts from Sweetwater, and when my rep heard I had stage 4 cancer, oh Jesus, he talked to the owner, Chuck, and he said, send them out to me for free. That's super nice. Stan, I hope everything is okay, and I'm praying for you. Janice Lala said, yeah, that is sad. It is. It is. Yes, that company is awesome, and even if you have to pay for stuff, it's still awesome. Han Solo says, ever play on an old Ibanez Lukather Sig? No, I haven't. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one. I've seen what was that company called? The one before the Music Man stuff. Hell, I can't remember what he was playing. I know I can see it. Janice Lala says she's having problems with her left index finger. What kind of problems? Is it like trigger finger? Yeah, I you know what? I know he played the Rose Star, but I don't think I've ever seen one. Anyway, this is the Steve Lukather model. It sounds amazing. I'm not plugging these guitars in today because my amp still isn't fixed. I got it back the other day and plugged it in, played one chord, blew up again. So it's back out for repair at the moment. I'm thinking my buddy Jack is just going to put a new chassis in there and work on this chassis on his free time, and I'll just get a new amp. It'll be the same Tweed box, which I love, but it'll be a new chassis in there that he has. So that's what's going to happen, I believe. Janice says she has to find some time to go to a doctor. Yes, I really believe you need to. Michael Collins says he's got poison ivy all over his body, so we're all falling apart. Man, the minute I hit 50 years old, it went downhill. But I'm doing my best, and you guys and girls should all be doing your best. Just try to think positive, have good thoughts, and we'll all get through it. My Tweed, it's a Tweed, like a 30 watt, 35 watt Tweed amp, 112. It's a boutique amp from Rock and Roll Amps. He does a lot of my amps. They're all amazing, but this particular one has been a little bit of a headache. So it's been back to him, I think, 4 or 5 times in the last 2 months, and the amp is maybe 3 months old. So it keeps on blowing power tubes, and we don't really know what's going on with it. So he's taking it back, and he's just going to replace the chassis. He's going to build me a whole new amp. Actually, it's built already. He's just going to throw a whole new amp in there. Same amp, but a new one that actually hasn't blown up on him, which is good. And that's all getting done on the house, which is great. I don't have to do anything. The only thing I have to do is take it to him. And he'll be kind enough to bring it back to me. So he lives about 45 minutes away, and he's just all kinds of perplexed and upset over it. And, you know, the stuff like this doesn't happen with him because his amps are amazing. But it's happening, and it's okay because he's making good on it, and he's gonna bring it back when it's done. Anyway, we'll go on to the next guitar. Oh, my headphones are stuck. What are they stuck on? They're not stuck on Band-Aids. The next signature guitar is my Jimi Hendrix guitar. This is a 1997 Jimi Hendrix tribute by Fender. This is an actual production guitar that they did in 1997 and 1998. It's a left-handed guitar turned over to be made righty. Now, I've gotten some controversy over this guitar. A lot of left-handers, not a lot, but some left-handers have given me quite a bit of crap because, you know, left-hand guitars are very hard to find. Lefties seem to think that they have a very limited choice of what they could have, and right-handers have, you know, of course, they have every guitar in the world at their fingertips. Why would I buy a left-handed guitar and make it righty? Well, the thing is, I didn't buy a left-handed guitar. This is a guitar that Fender put out. So it's a left-handed guitar made for righties because, of course, you can't find a lot of left-handed guitars to make for a righty to make it look like a Hendrix guitar. So they made one. It's specifically for righties. If you want to buy one as a lefty, by all means, buy this guitar, make a left-handed nut and, you know, just intonate it for a left-handed guitar player. That's all you got to do. You know, just because you didn't get this one and I happen to get it used, don't hate me for it. I wanted a Hendrix style guitar, and this is what they offered, and it's cool. At the time, I think they were like $1,200. This is like a U.S. made guitar, and now I think they're like $3,500. I've seen them at Wildwood Guitars. If you don't know where they are, I think they're in Louisiana. I think, or maybe maybe it's Wisconsin. I can't remember. One of those places. Anyway, I saw one there for $3,600. I can't believe it. I bought this one for $1,200 2 years ago, and it's great. It's like a regular, late '60s Fender. It's a laminated fretboard on a maple neck, laminated maple fretboard, alder body, like it's supposed to be. It's basically it's a 1968 style Stratocaster. And yes, the Fender Stratocaster decal is backwards because what Fender was thinking is if you look in the mirror when you're playing this guitar, it'll look correct. But it's not. It's very funny and it's weird. But it's a great feeling guitar. It takes a bit to get used to with the cable that comes out here, and the controls are like right where your arm would be. So, it takes a bit to get used to, and you know what? You can't really reach these high notes up here because the cutaway is kind of in the way. But you can kind of do it. You have to get used to it. It's a cool guitar. Here's what the back looks like. Oh, that was my headstock touching my microphone. Very funny. So this is the Hendrix model, and it sounds very Hendrixy. That with that bridge pickup going the opposite way, you get the warmer high strings and the low strings, the E, A, and D, are a little bit punchier, a little more come more to a point. So I kind of like the way it sounds on the bridge pickup. So that is the Hendrix Tribute Stratocaster from 1997. This particular one is in great shape. Although it used to be whiter, it's gotten yellowed over the years, which is kind of cool. Kind of looks like the original Woodstock guitar, which I really like. The next guitar is a replica of Eddie Van Halen's Bumblebee. Hey, Dry Eat 480, how are you? Nice to see you. I've got 13 people watching me right now. If you haven't said hello yet, please say hello. Also, just to remind you guys, I've got this cool new feature called Super Chat. If you feel like donating to the cause and asking a question, I'll get to it right away. This is not something that's mandatory. If you feel like leaving a little bit of money or however much you feel like sending, just letting you know I have it. No big deal if you don't want to do it, if you can't do it, but just letting you know it's there. It's the little $sign that's right under where you type your stuff. Anyway, so this is it's kind of a conglomerate of all the eras of the Bumblebee. This guitar belonged to Rob Johnson before it was mine. He gave it to me. If you don't know, when Eddie Van Halen first got this guitar, it had a painted headstock black with the Charvel logo on it. The whole back of the neck was painted black. It had a V-trem on the guitar. It didn't have a Floyd Rose at first. He had that put on, or he put it on himself. I think it's probably the first guitar he put a Floyd Rose on. It didn't have fine tuners on it. So what Rob did was he made this guitar kind of the best of both worlds. He had to put the black headstock on it with the Charvel decal, but he left the neck unfinished, and all this shiny stuff is from him and me playing it. It's all real wear and real oil finish. It's not relic. This is all This is all playware, which is kind of cool on this guitar. This is a very old Music Craft maple neck. This one's 22 frets, although the original had 21 on it. I kind of like 21 frets. I like my guitars to be true to what they are, but for playability, this is a really cool guitar with 22 frets on it. This has a very old DiMarzio Super Distortion in it. It's got a newer Floyd Rose trem with non fine tuning, but I put the collar, which is it's just a nut, which is the way they used to do it before they did the regular Floyd Rose collars. It was just a nut on top and then a nut on the bottom to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And that's on all these old Floyd Roses. And this actually, this one also has if you can see that, it's got a prototype Floyd nut with the humps on it. They're very hard to find and they're expensive when you get them. But again, I have to be me and try to make the guitar as close to original as possible. It's an R2 nut. And it clamps perfectly in tune. You don't have to fine tune it when you, of course you can't fine tune it, but this one happens to clamp amazingly in tune, and it stays in tune. It's got a brass block on it. The paint job is exact. Like the EVH gear ones, the color is not really right. They haven't really gotten the color right. The Bumblebee replica that they got absolutely correct. Everything about it is correct. But then again, that's a $20,000 guitar. It's more of a school bus yellow or a taxi cab yellow. It's not really a bright yellow. So that's what this guitar is. It's got that taxi cab or school bus yellow, number 2 pencil yellow type thing. This guitar is one of my favorite guitars, just because it plays great. It reacts great when you clamp the nut down. I know I've had it for sale for a while, but I'm keeping it. I decided to keep it. I started playing it again, and it's just too good. It's too good to sell. So the only person I'd sell it back to really is Rob Johnson if he ever wanted it, because he really did the right thing with me. He gave it to me, so I would probably give it back to him if he ever wanted it. I don't really want to do that, but if he really was insisting, I'd just give it back to him. But I wouldn't sell it. So that's this guitar. I believe the body is Northern Ash. I don't know because I can't see any. I can't see any grain. But if it's true to the original, it should be Northern Ash because that's what the original was. And there you go. There you have it. It's not terribly heavy. Hi, Dwight Bailey. How are you? And that's the Bumblebee. My next guitar is my amazing replica of the Rasta Circles, Unchained guitar that Eddie had back in 1981. If you look closely, I don't know if you can see this. Hang on a second. You might be able to see the circles, all the circles that are underneath this paint job. It started its life as the Circles guitar. And on the back, you might be able to see the "Bye, see you later." Yeah, you might be able to see some of that. Yeah. I don't know how that looks over the computer, but you might be able to see that. This guitar was built by Jerry Leica, who is like the grandfather to all these replica guys. That he was the generation before me on making Van Halen replicas. Good friend of mine. He was nice enough to gift this guitar to me a few years ago, and it's an amazing guitar. It's an exact replica, 2-inch body with the exact colors. The only thing that this is not is it's not relic, so you don't see the gray undercoat under here, and it certainly doesn't have the vomit on it like Eddie's did. But it is an exact replica of the 2-inch body. This is a Musicraft neck. It's one of the most comfortable feeling necks ever. It's got the painted headstock like it was when it was given to Dweezil Zappa in 1983. In 1981 and 82, the headstock was just plain wood. I guess it was repainted in 82. So when it was the Circles guitar, it was an unpainted headstock. Then he repainted it between tours in 1981 and 1982. The guitar was very rarely seen in 1982 on the stage, but it was a backup guitar, and it was certainly a backstage guitar for Eddie to warm up on. There are some pictures of him using it live on stage, but in 82, but it didn't have the painted headstock. Somewhere after that, between 82 and 83, he painted the headstock, and then, years later, Dweezil Zappa went to his house and said, "Oh, there's that guitar." And Eddie said, "I hate that guitar. Do you want it?" And Dweezil was like, "Yeah." And then they built it together. Dweezil and Eddie put the gold hardware on it, put the neck back on it. It had this Shaler pickup in it. The Shaler blade, sounds very cool. This particular one is a bit microphonic. It probably needs to get dipped in paraffin wax. Hey, James Gum, how you doing? I've got 21 people watching me right now. If you haven't said hello, please say hello. I'd love to say hello to you. This body is mahogany, like the original. It's got gold hardware. It's got a gold Floyd Rose. The original doesn't have a Floyd on it. It has a Shaler Floyd on it, which is slightly different looking than this. This Floyd has been upgraded with naval brass inserts from Adam Reaver at FU-Tone. Hi, Larry H. How are you? This has a brass block in it, also from FU-Tone. Hi, Steve Carmichael. It's not terribly light because it is mahogany. What's the meaning behind the Rasta name? Well, it's just Rastafarian colors. The green, the yellow, the red, black and white. So I don't think... Well, I think Eddie did call it Rasta. I think he coined that name because of the colors. So that's why we call it Rasta. And again, this neck is super comfortable. It's not terribly big from front to back. It's got jumbo frets on it. The action on this, like every other guitar I own, is super low. It doesn't buzz out. You can do a two-step bend on it, on any string. Again, clamps directly in tune, although it does have fine tuners. This also has a gold prototype nut on it with the humps, which I dare you to go find another one. This was terribly hard to find, but I got one. Lucky enough to get one, and it fit on the guitar perfectly. It's another R2. This has the crown head Goto tuners. They should be gold. I'm looking for a set of gold ones now. In fact, I have a guy that has a set for me. I'm just waiting to pay for them, and then I'll take these off and maybe put this on a Frankenstein build if I choose to do a Frankenstein build in the future, because the Frankensteins have the chrome crown heads. But right now, there's a set of gold crown heads on it, on the original. So I'm gonna put that on this. And that is my Rasta guitar. If you have any questions about any of the guitars I've shown so far, please ask. I'd be happy to answer them. 19 people watching me right now. And I'll go on to the next guitar. James Gunn says, "Hi, Dwight Bailey, and all of my other buds in the chat." Very cool. Nice of you guys and girls to come in here. I know it's Sunday afternoon. You probably all have better things to do on a Sunday. I really appreciate that. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't done it. I really can't see if you've done it or not because I can't see that page right now. If you haven't clicked the bell so that you get my notifications, please do that as well. Just click the bell. You'll get all the notifications when I go online, when I go on YouTube, and and if you're free, you can watch. Also, one more time, I'll just say that I have this cool new feature called Super Chat, and if you wish to leave a couple dollars here and there, a couple pennies, whatever you like, and if you have something to say and you want to get it read right away, it'll be pinned up for a while, so it'll be seen by everybody. I'll answer your questions right away. I know I'm kind of doing it right now anyway, but if you have anything you'd like to donate, any type of change, I'd appreciate it. And if not, that's cool too. I'm just glad you're all here. So I'll go on to the next guitar. All right, the next guitar I'm going to show is a replica of a guitar that Eddie Van Halen gave to the Hard Rock Cafe in 1985. You might have all seen videos and pictures of this on YouTube with MTV. He did him and Valerie Bertinelli did an interview. He had the guitar in his hand. He donated it to the Hard Rock Cafe on MTV. It's affectionately called the 1985 Hard Rock Donation Guitar. This guitar, or the original, had the original neck to the Kramer 1984 guitar, which he had on tour with him in 84. And then he had it on tour with him in 86 and 88 the 84 body with another neck on it. It had a low A bass string on it, so he could play the song good enough. In 88, I don't think it had the bass string on it anymore, but it was a backup guitar, and to my knowledge, it was never used. Or if it was never used on camera, so we don't know if he used it or not. The body was just a painted Kramer body that he put that old neck on, and he said it was his second favorite guitar. Until that moment, we had never seen this body. I think it was just a new body that Kramer painted for him. He put the guitar together and gave it away to the Hard Rock. And today, this guitar sits in Rome, Italy at the Hard Rock Cafe. It is probably a basswood body on the original. This one is poplar. This has a old JB in it. The original has a Schaller Golden 50s pickup in it with a regular Floyd, original old Floyd like this one. The neck is reliced exactly the way you see it today. This also has a vintage prototype nut on it. Which, again, these things are not easy to find, but I happen to be lucky and find them all the time. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. It's got an original Kramer plate on it with no serial number. This also has a brass block on it. Nice dirty neck. The no branded Goto tuning pegs. It just has no name on it like you would have seen it on the original. This guitar also stays in tune amazingly. The Floyd is directly against the body. The tremolo is as you would see it on the original. Now I colored the pole pieces black on this pickup to make it look like the golden 50s Schaller because the pole pieces are black on that guitar. So I made it look kind of the same, but I put a pickup in that I really like the way it sounds. And also, to find a Schaller Golden 50s pickup these days, very hard to find them. When you do find them, they're pretty expensive. This pickup, it happens to be a newer JB. It's not a vintage one, but it didn't matter to me. It sounds great. And that's this guitar here. The 1985 Hard Rock Cafe giveaway guitar. And the final guitar I want to show today is a backup Kramer that Eddie Van Halen used on the 1986 tour called the 918V. This guitar was built by Rob Johnson and subsequently given to me. He gave it to me as a gift, which is amazing. Amazing. What a great friend. But I give him guitars too. So it was kind of like here, I'll give you this one. You've given me this before, so, have a nice time. But this one, 918V, if you don't know what 918V, it's a a violent 5150. If you don't know what 5150 means, it's the criminal code on the West Coast in California for someone that's insane, someone that's dangerous to themselves, insane, crazy. And 918V is a police code in California for someone that's violent and crazy and belongs in the loony bin. So that's what this guitar is. This is also a basswood body. This has a black super distortion in it, which it's not really my choice for pickup, but I think that's what Rob had available, so he just put it in. I have a JB waiting to go in it. I have one in the back. I'll put it in at some point. Now, this neck is very cool. It looks exactly like an old 86 Kramer neck, which is what would have been on it at the time, with the correct decal. But this is a Randy Butala replica neck, and this one is the prototype to this. This is the very first one he built to make the pointy hockey stick headstock that you would have seen on Kramer's in '86. And it feels amazing. It's got the right feel. I've got quite a few Kramers back there with 1986 necks on it. See that white one there with the maple neck? This neck feels exactly like it. Like exactly. The headstock is very close to what an original one is. I think the original ones are just a little bit thinner from top to bottom, but man, you look at this and it looks just like one. It's amazing. The body, I think, like I said, is basswood. It's exactly painted like the 918V guitar. This has an 86 era Kramer back plate on it. The original had a skunk stripe on it as well. It sounds amazing, even with this pickup in it. Stays in tune great. Excuse me, my hand hurts. Michael Collins says, your collection is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Rob Johnson's here. He's calling. Rob, you are live on the Sunday edition of NEZ Says. How are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Not bad. I'm just talking about your 918V guitar that you gave me.
Oh, okay, we're live. All right.
Yes, we're live. We have 18 people watching me right now. Everyone say hello to Rob, people.
Hey, guys. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm in my car. I just called to say hi to my good buddy, Dave. And Ty, are you there?
Ty's not here. I do Sundays by myself because Ty does family weekends.
Oh, okay. Hey, I just wanted to say hi, everybody. Dave called me last night, and I was actually working, so I couldn't call him back. So by the time I got home, it was close to midnight. But how's everybody doing? 918V is a great guitar. I was actually just playing mine this morning because I'm off today and tomorrow. So.
Yeah. So Dwight Bailey says hello, Rob Johnson. Old Metal Dude says hello, Dave, and hello, Rob.
Hey, what's up, Dwight? Hey, what's up, Metal? How are you guys doing? I have I'm going to be picking it up tomorrow. So one of the reasons I was calling Dave was to see if he felt like going live for a little while tomorrow. I was going to actually hopefully show maybe tomorrow late afternoon, early evening. I was going to show my new George Lynch Tiger guitar that was painted by Nick Amendolara. Should be getting all set up and stuff today, and dropped it off yesterday, and I'm supposed to be picking it up tomorrow sometime around 1, 2 o'clock. So I don't know what your schedule is tomorrow, dude.
Yeah, I'll be home by like 2:15 from dialysis. Absolutely, I'll do that with you.
Yeah, that would be perfect. I'm probably going to be home probably around like 4-ish, so I didn't know if you wanted to go live like for an hour or so around then.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll give me time to have lunch and take an hour nap. Because when I come home from dialysis, I'm a mess. But I could take an hour nap and then be ready for you to do 4:15 somewhere around there.
Yeah. That sounds great. But I don't want to intrude on the show, but can't wait to chat with you guys. And
hey, do you have a minute, or do you have to leave?
No, I got about 10 minutes. I'm in the car, so I'm
Okay.
good to go.
All right. So I've been explaining this guitar maybe since you.
I'm going to decline the call. Go ahead.
since you built this guitar, I've been talking about it, but can you tell me? Can you remember what the body woods and the pickup that you put in it and stuff like that? Can you remember that stuff? Because since I didn't build the guitar, I'm kind of figuring because of what the original was. I thought the pickup was a super distortion, but maybe if it's something different since you put it in there.
Yeah, okay, so the body is a Chris Lock body. It's definitely a Lock body. I had him custom make that body. And the game plan was, well, first off, I always wanted a 918B, and I remember Dave and I'm talking to everybody obviously now. Dave, you and I had talked about doing a 5150 backup guitar. Gosh, we've been talking about that since like 2015, 16.
Yeah. By the way, Janice Lala says hello.
Yeah, we never really got around to it, and then I think it was Dave or Johnny. It was one of you two guys. I think Dave sent some very rare pictures a few years ago of Eddie actually playing the 918B and the 5150 tour. They were black and white, and it was the only pictures I'd ever seen of him playing that guitar, like for real playing it, knowing it, identifying it. I know I have video of him playing it, but it's audience shot. You'd never be able to tell.
Yeah,
So
and it's a cool picture of the back of it as well.
Yeah, actually, it gave a pretty decent look of the back. So pretty much, as far as I was concerned, that was going to be my 5150 backup. Like, all right, I got to do the 918B, just because I've always liked that guitar, and then I saw the picture of Eddie playing it, and it had space tape, and space tape was always cool. So, the first one that I built actually is owned by Chad Wall, the Chad right now. And it's so funny because I built that one. Actually, I take that back. I didn't build that one. That was a Kramer Focus body, which is just like a Beretta, and it was a Kramer neck, an original Kramer neck. It just didn't have the skunk stripe on the back.
Correct.
So I painted it up. It came out really good, and then Chad was bugging me for it. He wanted it, and we ended up doing a deal. So I said, okay, then I'll just make one from scratch. And that's the one that Dave has. So in that particular guitar, I said, I'm just going to go all out, and I'm just going to custom build it and, go that route. So Chris Lock did the body, and I was going to have him do the neck. But he did not have the equipment at the time. I think he's good to go now. But at the time, he didn't have what he needed to do a maple tilt back pointy headstock neck, which is an incredibly rare Kramer neck.
Well, like it's 1986. I was telling them that I have a white Pacer with a maple neck just like this on it.
Right. Yeah, you actually have a real one.
Yeah.
And those necks are so hard to find. So I searched for a little while Chris was making the body, and then finally I just said, heck with it. And I think it was Dave was the one that said, why don't you try Butala?
Randy
So
Butala,
I contacted Randy, and I told him what I wanted. I told him I wanted, I gave him the specs on everything, and maple, pointy headstock Kramer, tilt back, snake bite, rear-mounted nut with a skunk stripe. And he was like, wow. He's like, I've never even heard of that, but yeah, I can do it. So he did it. So I got the neck, and that was the first one he ever did. So I painted the body up and, put it together, clear coated it, very lightly clear coated it, and made it as much like Eddie's as I could. And then proceeded to go down to Dave's house a couple of weeks later, and Dave fell in love with the guitar, and it's typical Dave and I, when we hang out, we're always wheeling and dealing, and I don't mean money-wise, but we're always looking to trade stuff, and just because that's just how we are. We love to keep stuff in the family, so to speak, in our little family. So he knew that I wanted the Vetus guitar, and so we ended up doing a trade for that, and it worked out great. So I'm driving home, and I'm going, son of a freaking bitch. Again, I lost my 918B.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like I couldn't keep the damn things. Chad got it. I only had it for a few weeks. Dave got it. I had it for a couple weeks. So I ended up building another one, and I have it now, and mine is exactly like Dave's. And as far as the pickup in that guitar, I'm pretty sure that's a Schaller pickup.
Okay, so it's a Schaller, but it's not a Golden 50. It's
No,
another shallow pickup.
And I don't think it's technically accurate for that guitar.
It's not.
I don't think-
Should be a JB. It should be a
yeah.
double black JB, which I have.
Right.
I do have one, and I'll put that in this guitar.
Yeah, eventually I'd throw that in there to make that more accurate. But it's an original Floyd. I don't believe that guitar had a prototype nut, so the nut that's on there would be pretty accurate to the one of the real.
Yeah,
918.
this was built in 1986, or the original was built in 1986. So it would have a regular original Floyd Rose, not a prototype, which this has. It would have original nut on it, not prototype style, and it would have a flat string retainer like this has. It would have the newest style string retainer. It's got everything that the original should have. It's got Goto tuning pegs. I believe the original one has shallers on it, which I do have a set. But I don't think I want to put a second set of holes in the back, so I'll leave this as is. 7/8 says Rob Jansen. Larry H says, "Hey Rob, love your shark," which was my shark, and now it's Rob's shark. Old Metal Dude says, "Hey Rob, hey Dave or Rob, how do you guys like the Friedman amps?" I love Friedman amps. I had a Dirty Shirley at one point, but I was doing a lot of gigs at the time, and it was just a one-trick pony. It didn't really have a clean sound. It was kind of just like your 70s style Marshall, which is amazing. But, when you're in a wedding band back then, you needed something that had a clean sound. So I had to sell that and get something else. But I wish I had it today. I was just about to buy a small box 50 head, but someone pulled the trigger before me. It was at my local Guitar Center. I went to go buy it 2 weeks ago. It was on hold for me. But I guess I waited a little too long, and they had to sell the amp. So I called for it. I called my buddy down there and said, "I'm coming in today to buy the amp." And he says, "Dave, I have bad news. Someone just bought it. I couldn't hold it for you anymore." So it got bought just before me. Ed Dannon wants to see this headstock. I'm going to show the headstock of the guitar. This is exactly how you would see it on the original. And that's the guitar. And here's the back of the headstock. That's how it's painted on the back.
On those Friedman amps, I've never owned one, but I've played through them, and I love them. I mean, they're amazing. If you're looking for an amp that's going to sound like an old, 69 Plexi Marshall, they're awesome. They're great. But like Dave says, they're a one-stop pony, so to speak. They're just dirty. They're great. I mean, they're like. They're awesome. They're amazing.
Well,
I'd love to have one.
That's the Dirty Shirley one. If you get a BE100, it's got the classic Plexi channel, which is your clean channel, and it's an amazing clean, and it dirties up a little bit. And then it has the BE side, which has the overdrive that we all love. The small box 50 also has this beautiful Plexi side, which is amazing clean sound, and you can dirty it up a little bit. And it's got that BE other side, side 2 with the BE overdrive that's really ridiculous. And it's 50 watts. It's super loud when you want it to, but it's got great bedroom volume. That's my favorite Friedman amplifier, is that small box 50. It really sounds amazing. It's got a great...
I'll tell you what I'd like to get.
What's that?
To go with my rig, my mini... balance rig that you guys have all seen, which one of these days I gotta have Dave come over and check it out, because it's pretty freaking awesome. But what I want to get, not necessarily even to necessarily use it, because I've got that little, it's a 6505, but it's all converted to a 5150, which is exactly the same thing, cosmetically converted to a 5150. You guys have seen it. But what I'd like to get, just to have, and maybe switch off once in a while, and it's the same size as that.
Yeah.
I'd love to get one of those little, what are they, 50-watt Soldanos? The little...
Oh, sure.
Box. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Soldanos are great. Stan Adams, thank you, buddy. Feel better, man. I'm so sorry about the chemotherapy that's kicking your butt. I really am sorry. Quentin James is here. Says, "Hey, kids." Old Metal Dude says, "Thanks, Dave. Actually getting the Jerry Cantrell JJ Jr. It has a clean channel, and it's 20-watt head. That's awesome."
Nice.
Hi, Sean Zimmerman. How are you today? Hey, everybody. Just to let you know, also, NEZ Says is going to have its first sponsor. Actually, second sponsor. Our first sponsor is Tessie Switch. Rob from Tessie Switch has been doing great things for us. If you ever need a kill switch for your guitars, just contact him. Say David Nesdahl says hello and sent us. You can contact him on Facebook. Just call Tessie Switch or Rob Welch. Also, Jody Head straps. Jody Head guitar straps. I don't have any to show today, but she's sending me some straps to show. She does amazing work. It's all handmade work. She does like these Hendrix 60s style straps. She does these beautiful leather straps with silver conchos. She'll do like Native American type straps. She does a lot of great work. Check awesome. Jody Head guitar straps out. She's amazing. Not only is she a sweetheart of a person, her work is top notch. And that's not just because she's a sponsor. I would say this because I love her straps. Larry Mitchell uses her straps. I do actually have one that I can't get to at the moment. It's back in my closet somewhere. On my next show this Tuesday when we interview Brandon Paul, check that out. 8 o'clock this Tuesday night. I'll show that strap off, and maybe I'll have something from her. I'm not sure yet, but I think she's making something special for me to show, and you can check her out on her website. I believe it's jodyheadstraps.com, or you can check her out on Facebook. Just Google search Jody Head straps. It'll all come up, and look at the beautiful straps that she makes. Dave Douglas is here. Guitar Man 45 is here. Hi guys, how you doing? Oh, hi Ellie. 7/8 says Ellie says hi Dave.
Ellie, my little sweetheart.
Hey Jay, tell Ellie if she wants to hit the super chat, which I have now. She can hit that little $sign where she just below where she types in hello, below where you type in hello, and send any amount of money to me that you like if you wish to send some money. That goes for anyone here. I've got this cool new feature. Cool for me, not so cool for you guys because you guys got to send money. But if you like what I'm doing, if you want me to continue what I'm doing, if you like the NEZ Says channel and you want to donate a little money, whatever price you want, I think you can donate anything from 99 cents to hundreds of dollars, whatever you want to do. And it's okay if you don't want to do it either, but I just figured I'd throw it out there. Frankie Jones says, hello, David, Steinberger GL2T. I don't have that anymore. I'm sorry. I sold mine for a lot of money. And but I know Rob Johnson has his, and if we're going to do a show tomorrow. Rob and I will do another show tomorrow, and I'll show that Jody Head strap tomorrow as well. Probably around 4 or 4:15.
Mine was just rebuilt by Jeff Babbitt. So
yeah,
I can rip that out if you guys want.
Yeah, so if you want to come back tomorrow as well, Rob will show his Steinberger, and we'll have a couple other guitars that Rob will want to talk about. 7/8 says, Ellie said, sorry, I'm saving up for a blue guitar. No problem. I understand.
Hey, real quick before I lose my signal, because I'm going to drop off here in a second. Speaking of that, 7/8, Jay, we still have to build that little 5150 guitar for her. Jay and I have been talking about that forever, and I always get sidetracked, but
yeah.
Dave, I'm going to lose you in a second. I'm going over the mountain, crossing up into New Hampshire here.
Okay, well, safe drive. And what are you going to work?
No, I'm off today and I'm off tomorrow. I'm off tonight and I'm off tomorrow night, so I don't have to go back until Tuesday night. So I'm good to go. But give me a call later when you get off, and we'll definitely plan on doing something tomorrow.
Okay.
And yeah, great to talk to you guys, and whoever can jump in sometime tomorrow late afternoon, Dave and we'll put something together.
Yeah, it'll be about 4:15 or so, 4 o'clock or 4:15. We'll do as close to 4 o'clock as we can, depending on when Rob is available, and I will make sure I wake up from my nap before 4, so I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys later, and Dave, I'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good day.
All right, buddy. You too.
All right. Rob Johnson, everybody. It's nice of him to show up. Quentin James says, Thanks for the advice on my Schecter. I'll do a video when I get it back. Awesome. Frankie Jones wants to know if I still have the flame guitar. Yes, I do. And it's standing right behind me, like right behind my back. I showed it off, I believe it was last week. Let me move a little bit so you guys can see it. There it is, right in the corner, right there. Papa Blue says, Dave, question. I put a neck humbucker in the bridge position of my Stratocaster. 250K pots didn't sound good with the humbucker. 500K pots make the single coils sound bad. What do I do? Try a 300K. You can, I believe there are 300K pots, and I believe there are even 400K pots. You have to look for them. That'll probably be best of both worlds. Anyway, I'm close to an hour in. I'm going to stay on for about 5 more minutes. I'm 55 minutes in. I've got 23 people watching. I appreciate everyone that's watching. Does anyone have any other questions of the guitars that I showed so far? If you don't, or if you want to see anything that I maybe previously have shown on here, or if there's anything that I haven't shown yet but you want to see, please just let me know. I'll go get it. I'll be on here for a couple more minutes, and I'd be happy to do what you ask. And there we go. So, anyone else have anything to say today? 708 is clapping for me. Maybe it's clapping for Rob. I think he's clapping for Rob, actually. 708 says, gonna go play Hot Wheels with Ellie. Talk to you later, Dave. All right, buddy. Talk to you later. Dwight Bailey says, great hangout, Dave. Thank you for showing guitars. Hope you all have a rockin' day. Thank you, Dwight. Appreciate it. Anyway, Larry H says, Papa Blue, get one of these CTS 250 to 500K stacked dual concentric audio guitar pot. That'll probably do it. It'll probably give the 500K to the humbucker when it needs it and 250 to the single coils. That's actually a great idea. Janice Lala says she's going to drive now. See yous. All right, Janice. Drive safely. We'll see you soon. Last call for any questions. If not, I'm going to say goodnight for today. And we'll see you all tomorrow at 4 o'clock with Rob Johnson. Then 8 o'clock Tuesday night with Brandon Paul. We're interviewing Brandon Paul. And then Thursday night, it's going to be Charvel night with my buddy Rick Soga. That'll be fun because he's got a lot of vintage Charvels, like from 1979, 80, 81, all Strat headstock stuff that you want to see. Guitarman 45 says, thanks, Dave. Everyone have a great week. Larry H says, thank you, Dave. Papa Blue says, thanks, Larry H. And I think we're going to call it a day. Everyone, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Frankie Jones says, see you late, Dave. Have a good night, mate. All right, same here. Michael Collins says, is that an 87 style headstock? It's actually 86. 86 and 87 are the same style headstock, but on Eddie's 918V, it would have this old style Kramer decal on it, not the gold newer style. You know, the 87 would have the newer style where it's sloped. The case starts very big and it goes down to match kind of the way the headstock looks. 86 would have the newer style Kramer decal, but it would be all one size. So yeah, more like the 86, but with the old decal. So I'm going to say good night to everybody. I appreciate everyone. Let's see. Everybody, be safe. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow night.